Happy
Marita,
Wednesday.
what
How
up?
are you?
Pretty good. I'm pretty
Hey.
great. I'm just getting on over an Ascension flu, I think. How
Yes,
are
I
you?
love it. I love it. I am doing well. I feel like we have similar hairstyles. Yours is a little bit more
We
blonde
do.
than mine,
Yeah,
but yeah, I love
we
it.
do. I know.
The
Well, we're
the
very
beachy
connected.
hair, that beachy hair. We're both near the beach, just on complete opposite sides of the country.
Literally opposite,
I
two
love
different
it.
oceans, opposite
Literally,
ones,
yes.
opposite sides of the country, but both
Yes.
by our dream and our dream places.
Yes, definitely. Um,
Okay.
so we were actually just sharing a little awareness um,
Yes.
together, and I love this so much because that I've always said, well, I haven't always said, but for the past couple of years, I've said that awareness is our superpower. That doesn't always mean that it feels amazing, but it really is because, you know, the ghost in the closet, so to speak, right? Like it's still there. So,
Yeah.
like, even if we try to just shut the door and be like, well, it's over there, it's still there. But as soon
Yep.
as we open it and we go, okay, whoa, like, you know what I mean? We pull it out and then examine it. And then do I want to keep this, right? It's actually very empowering. So would you like to share your amazing awareness?
Yes. Yes, you guys. I have had such an awakening. Um, these last few days, and that's why I think I have the Ascension flu, because I'm shedding something that I've carried with me my whole life, and
Yeah.
it is wild. So um at the beginning of July, I had dinner with one of my very best friends, and I was talking to her about, I work in restaurants, and so I was talking and I work in an insanely busy restaurant, and it's chaotic and it's wild and it's crazy, and I was telling her the story about what had happened like the night before or whatever. And this woman knows me so well. She's one of my best friends, and all of a sudden she looks at me and she's like, "You're addicted to chaos." And I was like, no, not me.
No, I'm
Because I'm such
not.
a, yeah, no, not me, little old me. And I was like, no, I don't think so. She's like, "You're addicted to chaos. Like, I can see it in your eyes." And she's like, "And when you're not addicted," she's like, "You have chaos." She's like, "When you have chaos in your life and when you don't have it, you create it with other people, like your sister." Me and my sister, if you know anything about me, we're always in a tumultuous relationship. And I was like, "No way." And then I sat there and I said it to myself internally, and I realized she was right. And so that was a huge moment of like an aha moment of like, whoa. But I didn't know what to do with it. I had no idea what this meant. I didn't know how I could be chaos, because in my life all day long, I don't create chaos. I'm not like out mean to people. I'm such a love. Like I'm always, I'm always trying to be represent and be the best person I can be in this world. I'm always meditating and tapping and chanting and dancing and just like and doing affirmations and just doing whatever I can to raise my vibration. So I was like, there's no way, like, how do I? So once I realized it was true, I was like, how do I create this chaos? Because if you also know me as well, you know that I do have chaos in my life. I just went through something very chaotic. Every fall I go through something chaotic. I've moved for 10 times in the last 10 and a half years because
Mm,
of chaos. It's not because I'm just like, oh, I want this new apartment. It's always because I gotta go. Something happened.
yeah,
So every day since then, I think about it every day, but I just don't know what to do with it. But it's in my awareness.
yeah.
And now everything has died down with what happened to me this summer. And now I'm starting to let that go, and I've healed from it, and I'm healing. It's scarring over, and I don't bleed from that anymore. I get a little, the scab comes off every once in a while, and and it hurts a little bit, but it's not like it was when I was in all
Yeah.
of it, as we know. And so the other day on Sunday, I was like, okay, I'm going to clean my apartment and then we're going to go to the beach. And then I clean my apartment and then I'm just on my couch and I'm not going to the beach. All of a sudden I realize I'm on my Facebook, and my Facebook doesn't have a ton of anymore, but still a little bit of like political things.
Mhm.
And I realized all of a sudden because I didn't know what was really happening in the political world since probably June, since the beginning of July, because I've been in this insane chaos. I couldn't hold space for really anything else. And I didn't want to look at that because I was like, that's too much. I already got this insanity going on inside of me. And so all of a sudden on Sunday, I realized I was scrolling to look at things that our government was doing that upset me. And I kept looking. And then like I get like positive things or Aunt Dodo, I love the animal stuff. And I was like, nope,
Yeah.
nope, nope, that's not gonna do it. And then I'd find like something that our
Wow.
government did, and I'd hit it. And then I'd get that hit of like anger,
Yeah.
of upset, like
Yeah. Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
so crazy. And then all of a sudden I was like, what am I? Oh my God, what am I doing? And then I realized that like I do. This is how I create chaos. I'm not outwardly about it, but I do it to myself. It's like I'm abusing myself,
Hmm.
and I do it to myself internally. And if I don't get it from like, because that chaos had all left me from this summer. So now I'm searching for it on Facebook. And then I realized if I'm not doing it on Facebook, I search for it in other people. If people don't text me back within like a week, I'm like, oh, they're disrespecting me. They don't love me. They're not, there for me. when we're all so busy and we all have so many things to do and they might not have even seen the text. And like, I create this chaos and it's been such an eye opener that like, I was like, oh my God, I'm the chaos. I am the chaos.
Yeah.
And like, and then of course they say your outside world matches your inside world. So my outside world is really beautiful. And as like, obviously I live by the beach and I have this beautiful apartment and I'm very healthy and I take care of myself and do all these things, but crazy stuff does go down. And it's always in such a disrespectful way. And it's like, well, yeah, because I don't respect myself this way. Like I have so much self-love and self-respect in so many ways, but I'm also torturing myself and looking for a chaos. And so it's been really a huge awakening. I've been sick ever since then. That's why we call it the Ascension flu, because I've been sick. That night I went to bed, started to have a sore throat. It was crazy. And I was like, oh God, here we go. But it's wild. So I erased my Facebook. I mean, my Facebook's still on there so I can be on Messenger, but I just erased the app from my phone and I haven't been on it since. And then I noticed that like, I'll still like kind of, there's a few people I texted last week that haven't texted me back that are super important to me. And I'm like, and so then my mind will go, they're just, maybe the universe is showing that you shouldn't be with them. Maybe the universe, and it's like, and then so now I stop myself, which is huge. So this is a huge moment for me. So there's still a little bit of, obviously it's going to be the unraveling of this. And so it's still happening, but it feels very different in my body. I mean, my brain, I am more clear in my brain. I am more self-love, self-respect. And so I notice when I start going down that tunnel, I stop it and I just like start chanting. I start doing affirmations. I don't know. This is like a very, very, very big discovery for me.
No, yeah, this is totally, because I can tell that it's been, I mean, as you know, it's a program, right? Like you said, you're not consciously going, hey, I'm going to look for this. Hey, I'm going to get mad, right?
Yeah.
And that's why awareness is our superpower, because once we're aware of it, now we get to go, oh, yeah, I'm doing the thing, right? Because it's just a program, which has probably, I'm assuming probably from when you were little. So there's probably a lot of chaos around to where in those moments, right, there probably wasn't, and I can, resonate with that as well, where it was like, there wasn't too many down moments from the chaos, right? So like, that's what you're used to.
Yep.
And same for me, like I would get in relationships where it was very tumultuous, like no, physical violence, but it was very like constant arguing and like, oh my God, where are you at? Like, all the stuff.
Yeah.
And I would constantly, and then like a dude who was like not nice, that had no chaos, I'd be like, man, you're boring. Like, because literally my system, and I'm not even kidding you, like guys that were like, I would say quote normal, like in the sense of like, they didn't have a lot of chaos and they kind of had their stuff kind of together. I literally inside, I'm like, this feels way too uncomfortable. Because I wasn't used to that. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, nobody's going to come in your room and scream at you. Like, you pay your bills on time. You don't, what I mean? Like, what is this? What is this nonsense?
Yeah.
So this is amazing, because this is going to be super empowering, because now you're going to automatically go, okay, whoa, right, in each moment. And like you said, it's going to take a little bit, just like I think of like a computer, right? When you run a new program, to kind of like, okay, weed out, like, okay, what parts are we keeping? What are we, saying, like, what are we doing? Because there, law of rhythm, things happen, you have your wedding day and it's pouring rain, like that, I mean, that doesn't mean that I'm producing that, right? Those kind of things still do happen. Literally on my wedding day, it poured. But and just for our ceremony, by the way, like it was clear beforehand, and even clearer as soon as we left and went to the reception.
I say that's good.
Directly for the ceremony. Make this up.
Wow.
We got married on the beach, but anyways, and so this is going to be very empowering for you, because now you get to consciously make that choice of like, okay, what am I doing, right? Why? Okay, I'm going to go to the beach today, and then you pick up your phone and you're like, oh, wait a minute. No, I'm going to the beach. Thank you. Right. And then we get to make that empowering decision. And that's why it's so powerful. And I think this is going to totally break open, so much for you, because it is such a long running program. Like I actually recognize that in my children, I have 3 children, but the littlest ones at home are 5 and 11. And I noticed my 11-year-old, because my 5-year-old's kind of going through some stuff, understanding emotions and how we, change them and expressing them and all that stuff. But there'll be a downtime where he's just chilling. Like he's literally just sitting there, right? Everybody's quiet. And his 11-year-old will like poke him or do something. And then he's like, ah, and explodes. And I'm like, dude, you are literally addicted to chaos, because in that moment of quiet, you want to mess with him.
Right.
So I'm like, and he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I get it. You're 11. Like, what I mean? But and it just happened last night. And I was like, let's think about why like we're wanting to do those things. Like I understand they're, you know, they're boys and they're just being silly.
Oh,
But it's in those moments of quiet where he's
yeah.
wanting to, you know, physically poke him or like tease him or do or whatever it is when he's quiet. And I was like,
Yeah.
let's just look at that. It's not a judgment thing, but it's look at like,
Right.
interesting, right?
Yeah.
Why am I wanting to poke my brother right now? Why am I wanting to like? So it's very interesting, and we're kind of working on the unfoldment of that.
Yeah.
Same with myself, like even my words, like I often talk to you know, one of my really good friends, Laura,
Yep.
about like the words that we say, you know,
Mhm. All day.
oh, I need to, oh, I have to, oh, I should do this, oh, I shouldn't have done that, oh, this, you know, this isn't working, I can't, right? Like these kinds of vocabulary,
Oh
which
my
are
God.
very powerful.
You know,
And
I'm very big on self-talk. It is
yeah,
one
yeah.
of, I will not let
Mhm.
anyone around me talk about themselves in a negative way. I don't care who you
Mhm.
are. You could be a guest at my table. You can be my coworker. I don't care. You are not like, it is so how you speak to yourself is the utmost. You have to do with the utmost respect and care. And that is programming too. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm dumb. You know, like we are
Mhm.
just so used to people saying this around us all the time. It's just how we grow up as a society, and it's not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, because I noticed my daughter would do that too.
Yeah, of course.
And, you know, she's an adult. And, but then she go, oh, I'm just joking. I've heard that a lot too of this
Yeah.
culture. Oh, you're so stupid. And it's like, well, don't say that. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
However, and they may, in their awareness, think that it's joking, but there's still a program that's running, right? Or they
Yes.
wouldn't say that. Like
Yeah.
my previous mentor was like, I literally will not say, do, believe anything that is not going to serve me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, is that serving me? Is it serving you? Right? Like,
Right.
how is it serving me to say these things to myself? Right? And if it's not, she's like, I'd cut that crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just hold that, like, is this belief serving me? This thought, this word, this
Right.
whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing is like, look, you know, because some people, oh, it doesn't make a difference. Okay, well,
Mhm.
how is that like serving you though? Because if you can
Mhm.
come up with the way in which it is, then okay. But if it's not, then you can,
Right.
that's what you can kind of tell that it is a program.
Absolutely. And it
Which is
takes a while
really
to, right? I mean, it takes a lot of, especially at the beginning, catching yourself. And it takes time. It takes a lot
yes.
of failing at first too,
Yeah.
right? But I've been working on it for years, and it's such a beautiful, I mean, like, obviously now that I know that I create this chaos, but otherwise, it's such a beautiful, like, it's such a beautiful place inside of me. Like, I'm very loving to me, you know what I mean? And obviously me now realizing all this chaos that I create inside of myself is going to even make it even more of a more gentle, kinder, loving place. But it's like,
Yeah.
it's once you do, once your self-talk becomes so respectful and loving of yourself, you change, and people change the way that they see you and speak to you as well.
Yes. Yes. Because a lot of times, you know, the people that are like, oh, I'm stupid, I'm this and that, they're probably in relationships where they are treating them similar. And it may not even be that they're physically saying you're stupid, but
Right.
maybe they're just being disrespectful, maybe they're being
Right.
rude, you know, whatever it may be, because we are a mirror, right,
Yeah.
for others. And it's funny because my mom used to always, and I got it, but I didn't, if that makes any sense. But she always used to say, people can only treat you the way in which that you allow them to treat you. And I would
Yeah.
go, yeah, okay, sounds good, right? And then I'm like, no, I'm not allowing this guy to treat me this way. But what she meant by it is internal, right? If
Yeah.
internally you're going, yeah, I deserve this guy to treat me like crap. I deserve this guy to flake on our date. I deserve, you know, whatever. That's how I'm feeling energetically. And I'm going to show up with all of these guys treating me that way. Right.
Yep.
But if instead internally, and it doesn't even have to be anything that you say, but
Absolutely.
if internally I'm like, you know what, I deserve somebody to show up to our date. I deserve somebody to call me
Yeah.
back. I deserve to, you know, be treated with respect. And that's how I'm feeling and vibrating on that higher level, then I'm going to get all the guys that are going to do that, or relationships in general. It doesn't even have to be, you know, another.
Absolutely.
And that's a game changer, because so often people will say, and I love that Yuki's like, I don't listen to what people say. I listen to what is being said, but not through their words, you know, especially their energy, because you can say one thing, but you're giving off something else. Because a lot of people, oh yeah, no, I love myself and this and that, and I respect, you know, but then they're not taking care of their body, or they're, saying things to themselves or their program or whatever,
Well, I
so
always say you don't speak through words, you speak through your actions, right? It's how
yes,
you treat
yes,
yourself, it's how you treat other
exactly.
people. It doesn't, you can say, I
Mhm.
can say anything, I'm a
Yeah.
polar bear. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, like, who cares? Like, but it's how I react. It's how I act. That's how you speak through life. It's all about what you do and and the energy put out. Absolutely.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Because when you show up as, um, your authentic person and you're loving yourself and your body and your everything,
Yep.
then that's going to come through.
Yep.
You can tell,
Absolutely.
um, how people, when I say carry themselves, I don't mean like, I mean, yes, kind of physically. Like I had the
Absolutely.
conversation with my husband. I was sitting at the table and I was kind of in the moment, right? And I was like this, like just
Yeah.
kind of, and not even thinking about it, but I'm just like, you
Yeah.
know, and he's like, you better like put your shoulders back, because that in and of itself, like that's yes, body language, but it's like
Hmm.
that's not 100% how I was feeling at the time, and so often because I've always kind of just slouched sitting like this, like my
Same. Yeah.
whole life. And
Yeah.
now in so many moments, I'm like,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
your body
Same.
holds, a lot of energy as well. And so it's like if I'm sitting like that, like, yeah, I could be thinking to myself, different thoughts, but it's very empowering to sit like that. I know Tony Robbins would do, was it Tony Robbins? He would do like different, I don't know, somebody would do like different, like Wonder Woman or like, Superman or, the different things because it's very powerful, right? Like holding your
Yeah.
arms back behind your head,
Yeah.
different
Taking
things
up
like that.
space.
Yeah.
Taking up space, not count, like not making yourself
Yeah.
small, make yourself big. I'm
Yeah.
here.
Exactly. Because you're in
Yeah.
that empowering, I think of like Wonder Woman or something, where she's kind of like
Absolutely.
this. And it
Of
actually
course.
changes, like if you literally do it, it actually changes
Yeah. Yeah.
your yeah,
Yeah.
I can't think of any other
Good.
superheroes. I don't know what Spider-Man does.
Wonder Woman's the
A
best.
pleb. I don't
Yeah.
know, whatever. But that like, yeah, my kids would know better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it actually changes energetically, like how
Yeah.
you,
Like that.
so a lot of times if you see me like readjust myself,
I'm gonna start standing in the
that's what
restaurant
I'm
like
doing.
this. People are gonna be like, "Who is that cocky lit? What is she
Yeah,
doing?"
right. Walk around with
Yeah.
like, do you have
Yeah.
um
Trey.
there you go. Yeah. Do you have the trays? Or do you
Yeah.
try to do like the 10 plates on the arms? No?
Oh yeah. No, we do we do. Yeah. Well, tray for cocktails, and then
Okay. So do
plates. Yeah.
five
Yeah.
on one
Yeah.
arm and like the other
Yeah.
one like
Yeah.
oh,
Exactly.
that's so funny.
But
There you
it's
go.
true, right? I mean, there have been many times ever since I've been on my healing journey, which is like 9 years now. I
Yeah.
mean, many times people have come up to me and said, I want what you have. Like, meditate
Mm,
and journal. That's really where to start.
yeah.
And now it's chanting. People are like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, for sure. I get it. You don't want to do it yet. That's okay. You don't have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, right? It's all about the energy you put off too. It can be very not addicting, but it can be very like inspiring to people, right? We're, as
Oh,
Yuki
yeah.
says, we're the inspiration. We are to show people what they can, not that we're trying to change people, we are not. Just to
Yeah.
show them that you can have this too. Like you can be,
Yeah.
well, like I always say, my most my biggest goal or the most important thing I've ever done in my life is not getting sober, which of course is huge. My most important thing that I've ever done, my biggest accomplishment is being a happy sober person because there's so many that are not. And
Oh
so,
yeah. 100%.
right? And so it's like to
Yeah.
be the example of that is like so empowering for me to like, and not that I'm trying to change anyone. I'm just showing you like, if I like alcohol was my life from the time I was 12 until the time I've been an alcoholic since I was 12, from the time I was 12 until
Yeah.
39, it's like,
Yeah.
and yeah. And
Because we are the
so
proof. And that's the whole
exactly.
thing is
Yeah.
like, because so often, and I can speak for myself on this as well, is like we're in that like it's not possible for me, it's not
Right.
possible in general, you know what I mean, whatever. And then when
Yeah.
you see these other people, and then it ignites that light of like, oh, so it's possible, right? And then
Absolutely.
that's right, and it may be a small little flame and it's barely going and don't blow on it, but at least that's a start. And then
Oh
the
my God.
more that you see of that,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying, of like, dang, like, okay, right? And then the things that we kind of go through, ebbs of life, ebbs and flows of life. And then it's like, wow. And then she's still sober. And like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Continuing on. It's
Right.
like, it's very
Right.
powerful. And she's not an angry,
Right.
yelling at people kind of person either. And that's where we you know, shine our light. Like I've had some things, you know, with a family member, and it's like, okay, how do I stay, and this is an internal question, but like, how do I stay in that,
Yeah.
right, that light? Like if I go out and somebody, you know, flips me off, somebody, you know, gets in front of me in traffic, whatever it may be, right? Like how, instead of like reacting, it's like, how do I stay in the same vibration before? Because that is truly the shift.
Yep.
Because it's not like, oh, do I have something back to say to that person? You know, like somebody says something rude to me. Oh, can I combat that with like another rude comment? Can I, you know, make them feel worse than how, right? It's not about that. I used to do that, right?
Of course.
Like, I got the last word,
That's
and
how
like,
we're taught.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
instead it's like, okay, that's you, that's your programming, that's your belief, that's your whatever, right? How do I stay at my same level regardless of that?
Oh my God. And it can be really hard. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. That was pretty much it. And that's, like I said, that's an internal question. How, right? What are my sets, you know, like you said, chanting, meditation, breath work, you know, except EFT tap, whatever it may be, right? Your thing that is getting you to that place.
I even have an example was it last week? I had a man at the restaurant that was so disrespectful to me that I was like, I'm done. You know what? I'm done. I'm done getting abuse from people. Like, I was like, I did it. He actually made me want to, like, I'm done with restaurants. And ever since then, I've been like, get me out of here, universe. Get me out of here. Like, figure. And then I was like, calm down, Shannon. You got to have a plan. And so then I've been talking to universe about a plan, but like to be out of there by the new year. But in that moment, he was so disrespectful to me and the way that I do my job so amazingly, and so disrespectful to my boss, which really upset me that he even talked to her this disgusting way in front of like all of his friends. And I was like, you tolerate that from your friends? Oh, I didn't come down to his level. Oh no, I just went up even, you know what I mean? I was nicer. I was even, and like by the time he left, he was so happy. And of course, like was so grateful and so loving me and stuff like that. And it's just like, I'm not coming down to your level. I'm just not going to. I mean, you're going to come up to my level. You know, and but it takes a long time to realize, like, to figure out that. I mean, I'm 48 now, so it's, you know, I've been working on it for a while, but like, it takes a long time not to come down to someone when someone does cut you off and you're like, and, you know, and like almost hits you or whatever. It's so hard to like, just be like, oh, love and light, love and light. Yeah.
Because I think that, and I mean, I don't really want to speak for myself, but in those moments, like I would actually like judge it as like, okay, he cut me off. Like why? In that, like, it had to make sense, or well, was I going too slow, fast, you know, XYZ, whatever. But, and we're trying to understand it from a rational, like human mind, when in reality, that is there. Like, yeah, if you're at the stoplight and it's green and you're just sitting there on your phone and somebody honks, I mean, that's kind of on you because, you know, you're not going.
100%.
But if it's just because they want to speed up or like whatever, it's like, that's their programming. Like, for instance, this guy, energetically, I'm sure that he's probably been living, I don't know how old he is, but like, I'm sure he's probably living this way for a long time. Maybe his mom talked disrespectfully to him. Maybe his dad talked disrespectfully. I mean, his dad could have like beat the crap out of his mom. You know what I'm saying? Whatever his story may have been, that this is kind of his normal. And then what is going to happen? He's probably going to attract friends that are like, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Whatever. So he's going to surround himself. Because otherwise, if that's not the energy he was giving off, his friends would have been like, whoa, right? So you can tell that this is kind of his programming. And you know, so for us, I don't even like the word combat, but it's like for us to transcend that, it's not to try to, put him in his place or whatever.
No.
It's to shift our energy, because then that's going to actually cause that programming to go, what? She didn't yell back at me. What? I didn't get kicked out. What? They didn't, you know, whatever. And then, I mean, who knows? I mean, that dude could have gone home and gone and rethought his whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that
you never know.
In which you know, just like Mother Teresa, you know, turn the other cheek, all these different things. And because it's all about love, right? And that's all that it is. And understanding that had zero to do with you, zero to do with your boss, zero to do with the restaurant, zero to do with anything except for this guy. And he's programming that 99.9%, I can tell you, he is completely unaware of. He's
It's
probably
wild.
looking at you like, what do you know what I mean? But like, you actually affected him and maybe even his friends. You know, because maybe every place they go to, they get kicked out of, or like, you know what I mean? So then he's like, it's just kind of reinforced. Or maybe he's addicted to the chaos. And then when he
100%.
didn't get it back, there wasn't this huge chaotic moment.
Yeah.
Then that could have, caused him to
Mhm.
kind of do like a second thought.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this
you
is
never
how we
know.
change lives, people. This is,
That's right.
you know,
Right. Right. That's
I don't
true.
know if it was, Bashar. It might have been Wayne Dyer, but I heard about a story that somebody, I don't know, some guy had gone in, like held up a bank at gunpoint or something like that. Um, and usually what happens, right? They call the police, they threaten it, whatever. And instead, they were like, why are you so angry? Like
Uh-huh.
gently was like asking them like kind of probing questions, but not in like a it's like, like why are you so angry? This kind of thing. The dude actually gave up the gun
Oh,
willingly because they were coming from that different perspective. Now, I'm
mhm.
not saying
Of
if somebody
love.
has a gun to you, like you know what I mean? But I'm just saying that's truly, I mean, if but like that's truly what it's about, because again, that was not a soul that came here and was born and was just angry, right? That transpired. And then he got to that moment.
Yep.
And for somebody to see that part of him, I think it was a man.
Yeah.
I don't remember the whole details.
Sure.
Right. But like to see that part of him.
Yeah.
And then to be hit with that, like, oh wow.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
that guy's life's probably changed.
Instead of treating him like a monster, a scary monster, someone saw him as like a soul, like a love, like a human.
Person. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's the whole
Yeah.
thing, because when you're unaware, I mean, there's so many things. I mean, there's stories of these, amazing people that, it's like they made decisions, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, we're all one decision away from one unconscious decision away from being in that. And so often we judge of like, oh man, this and that with tattoos or whatever it may be. My dad actually just told me a story about, he ran into this guy who was waiting for the store to open up, and this guy was sitting there, and he's like really, really clean cut Hispanic guy, like really like clean cut hair, and he was all dressed up really nice or whatever. And they just got to chatting. I don't even know what the heck they were talking about. And the guy was like, he goes, do you know that I used to literally be in a gang?
Wow.
Like straight up, like I can't even tell you some of the stuff I did. My dad was like not what he would have expected, right? 100%. And he's like, man, like I would never believe that. And he's like, what changed your life around? And he literally like pulled a necklace out, and it was a cross. And he's like, my faith.
Yeah.
Changed it all.
Yep.
And he's like, I have faith in something, they went into like a guitar store or something, but it was like, holy, and I said, Dad, that's literally what it's about. Right. He went from, again, probably a very angry person, right? Not having anything, maybe to have a family, whatever, maybe, I don't know his family life, but, and then he changed.
Yeah.
And he had faith in a higher power.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, that literally gave me goosebumps. I'm like, oh my God. I'm
Me
like,
too. I just got goosebumps.
there,
Yeah,
but like, it was just so empowering. And that's like that's what it's all about, is those people that are doing something different.
Yes.
Instead of what society says, oh, you were in a gang, oh, you were in prison, oh,
right.
you had tattoos, oh,
right.
whatever.
Right.
And it's like, that's not,
we can all change.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's about faith, and it's about knowing. It's like, once you have that connection with the universe, God, source, whatever you want to call it, Jesus, whoever you want to call it, whatever it is, it's us. It's us. And it's amazing once you have that connection, and that you have that knowing of like safety and trust and like love. It's just, it changes your whole life.
Yeah.
It's really, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So beautiful. Yeah.
All right. So this week, actually today, in fact, we are on a new book in book club.
Yay.
I'm so excited. Hopefully this is the right way. But it's called Love Money, Money Loves You by Sarah McCrum. Very powerful. It is written from money to you. So as you're reading it, money is talking to you, because money is an energy, as we all know this. Where there's cash, PayPal, bank, it's still an energy, and it's circulating. So this has been really, really powerful. Last week was week 1. And it really talked about, a lot of the constructs of money and, belief systems that we have all had as a society as a whole for a really, really long time. So Wednesdays, 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, what is that, 11:30 Pacific
Yes.
Standard Time. We'll be doing Love Money, Money Loves You. Shannon, the 14th, you have your next energy and sound healing class. I'm super excited
Yes.
to be the last one.
Gonna be
So
working on
14th and the 28th.
our solar plexus, which is
Nice.
huge.
Yes.
I
Solar
am that. Very, very
Yes.
powerful.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I love it so
Yeah.
much.
Me too.
Alrighty. The link will be in the description if you'd like to join. And we will see you all very soon.
All right. Bye.